Hello teacher, hello classmates, my name is Roberto Ortiz and today I'm going to be talking about my two assessing grammar tasks that I have created and designed in order to help students who have trouble in grammar. So these tasks will be able to facilitate and make so that grammar isn't so difficult to understand for them. Now, the first grammar that I'm going to be talking about is simple present tense. Now, what is simple present tense? Simple present tense is a verb tense with two main uses. We use the simple present tense when an action is happening right now or when it happens regularly or unceasingly, which is why it's sometimes called present indefinite. Here are some examples of simple present tense. I study in Madrid, I think you're wrong, and she doesn't like cheese. Here is simple present tense, brought to us by eslgrammar.org, in which they state that in simple present the action is simply mentioned and there is nothing being said about its completeness. It's used to talk about an action which happens on a regular basis. Now here is a chart, a table, in which it has subject, verb, and rest of the sentence. The subject is I, the verb is study, and the rest of the sentence is in Texas school. The next sentence, you study and in Texas school, and he studies in Texas school. As we can observe, the last part of the chart has plural form. Now it's important to note that students need to identify when a verb is in singular and when a verb is in plural. And also, they need to understand how to properly identify subjects and verbs in a sentence. If they don't understand this, then it is important to address all of the problems that they have sooner than later. Here is my first activity task that I have created and designed for students. In this task, learners have to each pick a card at random. When they have finally chosen a card, they will see in the card a word with an image of what type of action they have picked. Then, based on this action, they would have to write 5 sentences in simple present using the action that is shown on the image of the card. Example, let's say the word chosen from the card shows the word practices. Jeff practices piano every day. Michael practices soccer in the afternoon. So students, based on the word or image shown in the card, they would have to create sentences. Now this is helpful because students will create sentences at random rather than having them choose a sentence by themselves. They would have to choose a card in which it has an image and a word below it, and they would have to write 5 sentences. Now, any problems or difficulties that students might have, it's important to always give them feedback, give them recommendations, and help them if necessary on any type of difficulty that they may have. Now here is perfect progressive tense. Now perfect progressive tense usually uses has or have plus been and present participle. Now here is an example or examples of present perfect progressive tense. Joe has been singing for 3 years. Activity started in the past and continues to the present. They have been cleaning all day. Activity started in the past and recently finished in the present. So, as we can see, it's basically an activity that happened in the past, but that continues on unto the present. That is why perfect progressive tense is really necessary to learn for a student. Here are more examples of present perfect progressive tense. Now, present perfect progressive tense tells you about a continuous action that was initiated in the past and finished at some point in the past. However, the action has some relation to present time. Use have/has plus been plus ing. It has been raining and the street is still wet. I have been running and I am still tired. Or she has been practicing the piano and she is much better now. Here are some examples of how to implement present perfect progressive tense in a sentence. Now, here is my activity that I have implemented for students. Fill in the missing parts. In this activity, students will have to complete a worksheet based on perfect progressive tense. There is a twist in this activity. Students are required to complete the sentences with has been or have been, depending whether the sentence is written in singular and in plural form. This manner, we will be able to identify if students understand the topic or if they need more explanation on this topic. So it's important to address when a word is in singular and when words are in plural. That's why in this type of activity or task that I have created, it tells teachers, it helps, for example, me determine whether students understood the topic perfectly or whether they still need some more explanation on this topic. Here are my bibliographic references, teacher. Thank you so much for your attention and your time, and see you next time.